Hi, my name's Danielle and I'm an independent Kaszazz consultant in Tassie, and I'd like to share with you a few things about our Bellish Ezy-Press. This is our Ezy-Press. It's an A4 size die cutting machine. It comes with our pads that I use for our cutting and embossing. I've done a video, a basic overview video, so you can check that out and see what the different pads are used for. So basically our machine can lock into place, and we have plates that slide out front and back, and carry handle and a handle on the end, which is nice and easy to use. And along the front here are our basic instructions of our pad combinations, so an easy quick reference. And there are lots and lots of things you can do with it, so come and join me for a project. This is the card I'm going to demonstrate for you. This is using embossing dots die and some distress inks to create the background. Okay, so what I need to do, just get our base pad up there, and this is scrap paper. I'm going to get our embossing die, and I'm going to get our distress inks. Now I'm using 3 different distress inks. I'm using scattered straw. I'm just going to tap that over the edge, sort of give it a nice coating, just on a diagonal there. And then I'm going to use worn lipstick. This is worn lipstick. And I'm going to do the same thing. And you want to cross them over just a little bit. That's why we started with the scattered straw being the lightest colour first. Okay. Make sure it's a nice coverage. And finally, Dusty Concord. Again, crossing over a little bit. Like so. Then what we need to do, we need to grab our mini mister, which is just filled with water, and I'm just going to spritz the embossing plate with the ink on it, just lightly, until the ink starts to react with the water, because that's what distress ink does. Okay. Now, just sit that to the side. We'll get our embossing pad, a little rubber mat. I'm just going to put another scrap piece of paper in there as well, just to make it protect our little mat. We're going to grab a piece of our white card, and then what I'm going to do, I've got our inked up die. I'm just going to put that onto our card. And you don't want to move it. Once it's on there, it's on there. Now embossing pad B on top, and roll it through. Now I find this gives a really nice deep emboss because the paper is going to be a little bit wet from our spritzing. Okay. Now when you lift it off, just lift it straight up. And if there is any ink residue left on the die, you can just wipe it off with a wipe. And you'll see that it's made a really nice watercolour background, just in those little stripes. If you didn't want to have such definite stripes, you could make it a lot more mottly. It's entirely up to you. Okay, then what we're going to do, we're going to cut the little word, the with love. So to do that, we need a piece of butter of our SB Essentials, and I've got our with love, and I'm just going to use black soot distress ink. I'm going to ink that up. I'm just going to stamp that. And then I'm going to get a little die from one of our little sort of oval dies. I'm just going to sit that over the top. Now you're not going to get the little hearts on the end. You're just going to get the with love. So what I need to do, I need to put our base pad on top this time. So a cutting pad D on the bottom, and making sure that our die is cutting into our cutting mat, and base pad A on top, and roll it through. Okay, I'm just going to pop that off. Just going to grab our embossing mat again, pop our die out of the main paper, but leave it in leave the paper in that one, and put a cutting edge into our rubber mat. Get our embossing pad B and roll it through. This will add a little edge to the die cut. Okay, then we can pop it out. You might be able to see that on camera. The little edge that the embossing is made. It's just a little subtle effect. Okay, and then we can make our card. Okay, so now we're going to create the flowers that we've got at the top here. This is using our Kaszazz punches. We're using the 3 different sizes of the daisy. And I'm going to use a piece of grape. I'm going to punch out the super daisy and also the small daisy. And out of butter, I'm going to punch out the medium or jumbo daisy. Okay, I'm going to edge those in their respective colours. I'm going to do scattered straw for the butter. And Dusty Concord for the purple. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my paper piercer and my mat. And I'm just going to layer them up. And I'm going to use one of our gold brads. I'm going to put that through the centre. And flattened on the back. I'm using a bone scorer. If you just curl the petals. Like so. And then just position the other ones where you want them to line up to. And then we can attach some ribbon to our base card. So this is the new satin ribbon. This is a grape colour. I'm just going to grab our super tape and just put a strip of that along there. It's much better to put your super tape onto your card than onto your ribbon. You're going to get your ribbon much straighter if you put your super tape straight onto your cardstock. Okay, just curling it around the back. And then peel that off. Just going to put our satin ribbon on top. So that I can pull it nice and tight and get it nice and straight. Stick that down. Then we're going to attach that to our base card. So our base card is just a piece of black SB Essentials that I've cut. I'm just going to fold it in half, textured side in, and then fold it textured side out. I just find that gives it a much better crease. Some super tape on the back of our card. Okay, and then our flower is going to get attached with glue dots. So these are our glue dots. What they are, they're a sticky dot that's on a roll. So there's one of the little dots. So they're really helpful for when you're sticking embellishments on, especially that have got brads that are a little bit thicker. So I stick my flower onto there, and then I can put it up in the corner. And once my flower's on there, I can play with the petals, bring them up a little bit, like so. I'm just going to grab our little With Love, and I'm just going to go around the edge of that with our scattered straw, just to finish off the edge a little bit. You don't want too much, because otherwise you're going to take away from that little embossed edge that we just did. Okay. Then we're going to use some Magic Mount, and we're going to stick it onto our ribbon. Now I've pre-cut my Magic Mount. It comes in a sheet, and you can just cut up into whatever size you want. If you want to use strips or you want to use squares, it's up to you. Now to our word. And there's our card. Thanks for watching my video today. I really appreciate your time. If you have any questions for me, you can post them at the bottom of the video, or you can contact me at my blog, www.danielleskaszazz.blogspot.com. If you have any questions for Kaszazz, or you'd like to be put in touch with a local consultant, you can contact them on 1-800-649-191, or you can contact them via the website, www.kaszazz.com. And you can be put in touch with a local consultant and see all the great products on the website as well. Thank you very much for your time.